Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Crypto, Coffee and LoFi. Just a quick episode here, going to start off with Bitcoin. So, in my opinion, I think we are flipping temporarily to a bearish structure, and I'll go over exactly why. But I'm thinking we do see a retrace all the way back down to 49 to 50k. Once we do return to that level, I'll then look for a confirmation using my entry trigger. Then once I see that, I'll then look to get long. But so if you're new here, I am just using the same pattern to find accumulation and distribution. I'm using that same pattern to find support, resistance, and I'm also using that same pattern as my entry trigger. So what is that pattern? Just quickly for anyone that hasn't watched any other video, it's pretty much just a head and shoulders. So I look for a sweep of a high, and then I look for price to break below the low that was responsible for taking that high. Then once we get that break, I then look for a retrace inside of this range, where then I'll look for the same pattern to form again. So this is pretty much the basis for the entire strategy. This is what distribution looks like. Accumulation would be the exact same pattern, but in the opposite direction. So sweep of a low, break above a high. Then once we return, I then look for the same pattern to form again. So something like that. If we take a look at Bitcoin here, we can see that clearly on the hourly. So we sweep out this high. Then once we sweep the high, we break below the low that's responsible for taking that high right here. We form a few equal highs, we sweep them, and then we break below. So since this break right here, we haven't really come back up and tested this zone. So I'm thinking once we do take a key area, so we sweep out some key liquidity, which I'm thinking is below this low. Once we do see that, that's when I think we'll see a temporary retrace. So once we sweep this low, I'll then look for some accumulation on the lower time frames. So the same pattern. Once I see the accumulation, then I'll look to get long into this level right here, or into this previous support turn resistance right here. Once we reach these two levels, I'll then be looking for distribution. If I see the distribution, then I'll be looking to enter swing shorts into 49 to 50k. So hopefully that was easy to understand. So temporarily on the H4, I'm thinking that the structure's flipped bearish. Once we do sweep out this key area of liquidity, I'll look to get temporarily long. Once my longs hit their target, being this level or this level, if we do see some distribution, then I'll look to enter swing shorts into 49k. All right, easy peasy, that's the game plan. ETH is a similar story here. So I am in a scalp long, but I'll go over that in just a sec. But you can see that the structure has flipped bearish. So we swept out this level here, breaking below the low that was responsible for taking that high. Then once we retest, we form the same pattern again. Break below, and then once we retest, we form the same pattern again. So it's pretty obvious that market participants are starting to let go of their long positions. Now, I don't think that the entire bull market is over. I think get a larger sell-off for the rest of the week. I think that's actually a bullish sign. Get some liquidity cascades into some bullish zones here. And if you didn't watch the previous episode, I'm pretty much just looking for a similar long entry here on ETH that I am on Bitcoin. So as you can see, we took out all of these lows. We looked for the high that was responsible for taking those lows. That was right here. So this is true support. If we can reach anywhere inside of this range right here and form some accumulation, so something like this, then I'll look to enter long on ETH as well. Hopefully that's in line with Bitcoin, and the rest of the market prints a similar setup. So yeah, just looking for shorts. I'm in a scalp long, so sweeping out this low here, breaking above the high that was responsible for taking that low. I entered a partial position right here around 4100. If we can get a run up and a 15-minute or hourly close above this zone here, then I'll look to get long on retracements. Why did I pick this line as a target? If you jump over to the H4, you'll see this was the previous obvious key swing high. Here's the key swing low that took the high. And since breaking below, we haven't really tested it. So I think this will be the next obvious area of resistance. So for my scalp anyway, this is the target. A quick look at FTT as well. This thing isn't looking too right. Just like everything else, some bearish structures started to form. So sweeping out that high right there, then breaking below the low that was responsible for taking that high, which is all the way down here. Then once we break the low, we form the same setup. So sweeping a key high, then breaking below the low right here. So if we do see any kind of significant retracement in line with what I'm seeing on Bitcoin and ETH here, then we should be able to see a bearish setup. If we get that bearish setup, then we can look to short, looking for the most obvious areas of liquidity where orders will be residing, which is just below these lows, and now below this low. So if we do get an opportunity to short here, I'll be looking for swing shorts. And are these areas of liquidity in line with previous areas of accumulation? If they are, then that's usually a strong area to be looking to buy. So taking out this low, here are the highs that are responsible for taking those lows. since the decent size run up, there hasn't been an obvious retracement. So if we can reach into this level right here and accumulate, then we should be good for swing longs. No worries. I'm going to cut it there. Just trying to keep these episodes short and sweet, like straight to the point. If you're interested in the way that I'm analyzing the charts and taking these positions, click the link in the description below. Pick up a copy of the strategy. There's over 400 people in there all sharing the same setups and ideas, which is really helpful. Click the link in the description. Check that out. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this series. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right before London Open every week. No worries, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.